All right, hello from the Sky Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jim Caldwell. A tornado warning has just been issued for a few counties out in southern parts of Kentucky. It's all part of that line of storms that we've been talking about and following all day long. Now let's get down to it. Let me show you what's happening. Of course, you've been able to see the scroll running across the top of your screen the last little bit as well. Now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes and discuss this tornado warning that's out for Knox, parts of McCreary and Whitley counties. That runs all the way out until 8:45. Now, if you look on radar right now, you're looking at that particular area and you're thinking that does not look that strong, but some signatures were certainly indicated there on radar and within the last few minutes that a tornado could develop. Now also a trained spotter near Cumberland Falls State Park, about 10 miles northeast of Whitley City, give or take there, also said they spotted a funnel cloud in that particular area. So that's what we're going to monitor here as this storm continues to work its way off toward the east. Those trained spotters go through a series of training and learn exactly what to look for with some of the characteristics embedded in some of these storms to develop possible tornadoes, and obviously to be able to recognize an actual funnel cloud embedded within these storms. So they know exactly what they're looking for. So that's why they take their word and they really kind of go with it, again, because these folks sit through some of the training. All right, now as far as the tornado is concerned, it could be in the areas of Bark Camp, Krupp, Cleo, Youngs Creek, Liberty, all of these spots here soon. And I'm going to highlight some of those for you as I peel off some of the layers of data first, so you can get a general idea of the warned area. Right now, you're seeing all the entire counties warned. That's not truly the case. What they do is they highlight specific locations within. So it's that streak you see there on your screen. That's who's included in on the tornado warning. So you got that part of McCreary County that you see, and then all the way across I-75 north of Williamsburg, and then all the way even through the Barberville area now. So this is turning quite ugly in a hurry. Again, did not look that impressive on radar for a while, but now certainly coming together in all the right areas. Unfortunately, it looks like coming together in all the right areas to look like a pretty decent little thunderstorm. So right through there, that's where we're looking at the possible development, and that's going to move off toward the east. And it's only moving right around 25 miles per hour. So we'll kind of get you a track out here on this storm for the next 25 or for the next few minutes at least. We'll take you out. I'll take you out the next 25 minutes. That's what we'll stop at. So the next 25 minutes, you got Honeybee. There you see some of the places I was talking about a moment ago. Looking around 2,600 people affected with this storm moving at around 25 miles per hour. So sweeps across the interstate. Eventually, it's not even close right now, but eventually crosses the interstate and then jumps right on over into eastern sections of Whitley County and eventually on into Knox County. So we got a little bit of time left with this as far as the warned area is concerned. Again, that warning going all the way out until 8:45 for those folks there in McCreary, Whitley, and also into Knox County. So I'll highlight that warning now so you can see it. You've got tornado warning out until 8:45. Again, Knox, McCreary, and also into Whitley counties, and also getting an estimate of rainfall too. You can see, so we've got some pretty intense rainfall associated with it, coming down right around an inch an hour. Not terrible, but certainly some stronger stuff associated with that, and that's very typical for these type storms when they get fired up and they develop. And if you're in the city of Barberville, you've experienced a recent thunderstorm go through there. That's not the one that we're concerned about. That's going to be the development that we're looking at more toward your west, well off to your west, matter of fact. So that's what we are watching, this general area here, for possible tornadic development, and it's going to head off toward your direction, as I was highlighting there a moment ago. So it's going to continue to move off toward the east. So it's that location there that we're concerned about. Again, not looking favorable for tornadic development, but sometimes when you get certain levels of wind speed generated within these thunderstorms, they can and do possibly spin up tornadic activity. So that's where we're at with this one. And again, that was spotted by a trained weather spotter down there around Cumberland Falls State Park, and they also says around 10 miles northeast of Whitley City. So we'll watch that radar here for a few more minutes, and and we'll see exactly what's happening. So if you have any information, also, by the way, if you have some information, you want to just shoot that on out to us over on Facebook or Twitter, and we'll try to relay that information. If you've got any pictures, don't put yourself in the way for a picture, but certainly if you're down to that area, let us know and send us some information, because right now what we're seeing is just based on some radar estimates and also that funnel cloud spotted near Cumberland Falls State Park, close to Whitley City, it says, so according to the National Weather Service in Jackson. So we'll go a little closer and check this out a little more, get a little more up close and personal with there. You see honeybee already passing through that area, but you see some of the other spots that are all included. There's Youngs Creek, Walden, and you've got, again, north of the city of Williamsburg as far as the warning is concerned. Now, naturally, that also has all the potential to maybe skip down into that general direction, but we're going to have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen with this thunderstorm to see how it's pulling. Now, generally, the entire flow was moving toward the northeast, so that means it could very well try to skip that area altogether. So as we're watching that radar, I'm going to also pull up some, I'm checking some other sources here to find out some of the data on some of those embedded speeds here just off camera here and away from the actual radar computer as well. So I'm trying to figure out some of the other stuff for you so I can be better prepared to relay some more information about this to see exactly what's happening embedded within that storm. So if you're in Whitley County, the key is get into a safe location. Even if you are in the city of Williamsburg, it's still close enough, you certainly want to get to a safe spot as soon as you possibly can. So if you can get to that safe location, by all means, I say do it. And if you all can switch sources in there and go over to the other computer, I've got the severe weather tips on the screen on the other computer. If you all can get those up, so remember to go to a basement or the lowest point of your home, interior hallway or room, stay away from windows, and then also last there on the list, you want to abandon mobile homes. And while you get downstairs into the lowest point of your home, hopefully a basement, if not your first floor, get to that area, and what you want to do is you want to kind of fortify yourself. You want to get some pillows, you want to get maybe some blankets, whatever you can to put around your body. Just add an extra shell to your personal space. That way, if debris starts to fall, you won't take the full-blown hit from whatever may be falling from you. So that's one of those things, just little teeny tiny things like that. Getting a report also coming in here from the National Weather Service within the last few seconds here. Funnel cloud reported around 7:44. That was 7:44 near Corbin. Now that's been a little while ago, but that's coming in right now based on the times at 7:44 here today. So so getting kind of active out there, it looks like, on radar, and coming in with some of the stuff from the National Weather Service as well. So we'll watch and see what's happening. It's certainly a strong area to be concerned about, though, no doubt about that, down in southern parts of Kentucky at this particular moment in time. That's what we're looking at. And on the radar data, that's what you're looking at right there. I'm going to get back to it in just a moment, just getting this other stuff coming together here on one of the many computers we have here in the Weather Center for this particular purpose, that we can review all the information that we need to. We were concerned about this line of storms earlier today, and now you can see why we were so concerned, because of the fact that tornadic activity was not in the forefront of my mind, but certainly strong to severe thunderstorms that do have that potential. But now you get this type of warning, and you get that coming out, and also now getting another report of a funnel cloud in Tuttle in Laurel County. It was around 7:50. So some things really coming out here in the last few minutes. So I'm going to kind of back up. Now that has nothing to do with what we're seeing now out there. You see, there's no new active warning out for Laurel County. This is all new information I'm seeing as it's coming out. So people reporting earlier, within the last 20 minutes or so, they were reporting seeing funnel clouds, and then they get one also down there in McCreary County that sparked that warning that you see there on your screen. So again, when we look at the radar data, you're looking at it and you're like, that doesn't look that impressive. It looks more disorganized, but truly what you can run into with these squall lines is they have a good change of speed, wind speed with height. And when that happens, it can cause the air to kind of tumble and roll. And as it rolls, sometimes these thunderstorms, and this is how they develop, tornadoes at least, what will happen, those thunderstorms will have those updrafts going. They suck them up, and when they do, that's when you get the possible tornadic activity, which is the big concern there now for the folks going into Whitley County. That's one of the big time concerns that they have in that area. So that's why we're focusing in on this, and we certainly want to get all the information out to keep everyone as safe as possible. So we'll stay right here with it as long as that warning is active. We'll stay right here on top of it as much as we possibly can and get all of that information out. But right now, just monitoring all of the data streams that I have, all of the different data that will come in to the station and all of the different reports. So we're just waiting to see what happens next. So right now, if you're in Whitley County, the thing you need to do, Williamsburg, there in that Redbird, anywhere around those locations, you need to get to a safe spot right now. Anywhere along I-75 in the northern parts of Whitley County, there you see it. I'm just kind of highlighting the road itself and communities that are very close. You want to go ahead and get to the safest place you possibly can, basement or the lowest point of your home. If you're in a two-story house, get to the first floor and get somewhere in the middle of your house. You want to try to stay away from doors and windows and the outer walls. Those outer walls, obviously, if some kind of object comes flying through the air, it can come through the wall, through the door, through the window, and obviously the door opens so they can be easily pressured if debris starts to fly through the air and come in contact with the door, so it can knock the door open, and then you're in a whole world of different troubles there when you open things up and let the outside world come rolling in. So if you're anywhere there in Whitley County, especially the northern parts of town, Williamsburg into the north, it looks like at this point, you want to go ahead and do all the normal safety drill. You want to get to that safe spot as quickly as you possibly can. Numerous reports of funnel clouds coming out here in the last, like I said, 20 minutes or so associated with this line of thunderstorms that continues to work across southeastern Kentucky. And just here in the last few minutes, really starting to see it intensify quite a bit, especially up there in Owsley County and into parts of Breathitt County, but nothing strong or severe as far as that's concerned. No severe thunderstorm warnings or anything on that. Doesn't look like just yet. Our main concern, and the reason we're on the air with you right now, is because of that spotter actually seeing a funnel cloud down in McCreary County, and that's what prompted the warning here. It looked like there might have been some rotation indicated on radar, but really what pushed them over the edge to issue that was the fact that somebody actually saw it. So again, you're watching that area that I have highlighted with the radar there on your screen. So this storm could very well be producing some tornadic activity even now as it moves through Whitley County and crosses over Interstate 75. So Interstate 75, Whitley County, all those spots, that's it seems to be the targeted area at this moment. I'm going to plot some more data here for you in just a moment. Right now the computer is analyzing, and we're going to get some of our storm tracks going and to see exactly at least what the radar, at least the computer, how it's analyzing this particular storm and all of the storms, of course. It'll spit out some data for us here momentarily, so that way we'll get just another idea coming in on what's happening with the storm. There's a hail marker right there, that blue cylinder that just popped up, so indicating some decent sized hail just south of Corbin, and that's going over into Knox County. So at least some organized hail. It may not be large as far as the size is concerned, may be kind of small, but as far as the coverage is concerned and the concentration could be a decent amount there just south of Corbin. And then you look all through Whitley County, and that's where we're watching here for the potential of tornadic development. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom back in again, and we're going to talk about some of the roads on the other side of the interstate. On the eastern side, you got State Highway 779, you got Jacks Fork Road, and you got State Highway 511, and this road is 26. So if you're along those roads, including Interstate 75, be prepared, because the possibility of a tornado is bearing down on you right now. And I'll continue to kind of plot some of these roads. There you see State Highway 1064, there's Springtown Road, there's C.H. Helton Road. All of these spots, Maple Creek Road, and there's 1064 again, and there's one called Loudon Meadow Creek Road. So anywhere in these locations, now's the time to get to the safe spot that we keep referring to. So basement time, interior hallway or room on the first floor, and naturally just stay away from windows. I know it's very, very interesting to want to look outside and see where the storm's located. You want to get out there and you want to know exactly what's happening, but I encourage you to right now get into one of those spots that we mentioned when it's severe weather time. And right now is severe weather time with this line of thunderstorms coming through, and this one in particular trying to possibly spin up a tornado. Now, some new information coming out, very typical. They've canceled the tornado warning for McCreary County. The reason being, it's out of that location. So once it gets out, no need for that. But let's see, at 8:10, there's a new update. Train weather spotter reported to funnel clouds. So that's 8:10. I'm at 8:14 right now. The possible tornado is located near Providence. So near Providence. So we're watching that moving right along here. So let's move up and check out some of the other locations along the way. You've got a pretty strong storm also there, all leading through Knox County, Whitley County. All of this getting very interesting, and it's getting pretty dangerous in a hurry. Tornado possibly around the Bimble area, Hinkle, some of these spots within the next few minutes as well. So it looks like we're going to continue to watch this storm race across Whitley County and go into Knox County now. So giving you a better idea on some of the time. Keep in mind too, we have some little pockets of heavy rain, and sometimes they can hide the tornado from you. Don't think just because you're seeing just mainly some rain out there doesn't mean that the tornadic activity isn't possible and it isn't happening, because that's certainly not the case, because it can still really be hidden within some heavier rounds of rain. That's why we tell you to get away from it, don't fool with it, stay inside during tornadic activity or warnings, thunderstorm period. You'll want to get in the house and stay away from what could likely be possible tornadic activity, which is maybe what we're running into out there now in Whitley and going into Knox County. So McCreary's out of the warning. It's just you folks left there, and Whitley, and also especially now getting into Knox County, all thrown into the middle of this as far as the possible tornadic activity is concerned. And that's where they've continued to spot one near Providence, and it continues to move east around 25 miles per hour. So what I'll do now is I'll get you another storm track kind of laid out so we can see exactly who's in the line of this storm. So you take out the next, let's just go the next 25 minutes again, because again, 25 miles per hour is moving. At some of those spots that you see there, Swan Lake, you've got Perkins, around 8,700 people now affected by this storm that's moving through Whitley County and headed toward Knox County now. So again, that's where we have our tornado warning for you folks there in Knox and also in Whitley. Still going to show, of course, McCreary. The computer has not dropped that off there, but you folks in McCreary County, you're fine. As far as new activity is concerned, it's gone. So we've got Knox and Whitley County up until 8:45 here with possible tornadic activity, tornado warning. So this is one of those the times you really want to get into your safe spot. If you've got a plan and you know what to do when severe weather strikes, then you need to go ahead and do that. And if you don't know and you don't have a plan, guess what? I've got one for you. It's real quick, it's real easy, and it's real simple, and it's right there on your screen. Get to a basement or the lowest point of your home. So the basement is your lowest point. But if you don't have one, and that's the case with a lot of folks, get to the bottom floor, your first floor of your home. That's where you want to be. And you want to put yourself in an interior hallway or a room and get yourself situated somewhere in the middle of the house. Put more walls in between you and the weather outside. That's the key. Again, If objects are flying around in the air, they come in contact with your house, they could come through the house. I've seen that on some of these tornadoes, some of the weaker tornadoes, and just some of the straight line winds kind of blow right through the house. And if that's the case, usually what will happen is that once it breaks that first barrier, which would be the exterior wall coming into the house, what it'll do is it will slow the object down. So if you've got another wall in between you and it's probably going to save you from that flying object coming into the house. And then, of course, stay away from windows and doors. Doors also thrown into that. Stay away from both of those because obviously windows easily broken. And then you have doors that can also come open and allow for more debris to come flying in. And then the last there on your list, mobile homes can be dangerous. Structures have improved through the years, but they can be picked up and tossed around. And I got to see that firsthand down there for the folks in Morgan County during that tornado. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happening out there now. I'm not saying it's that bad of a situation, because it's not, because we're not seeing the same type of situation developing on radar here. But what I am saying is I'm saying that we have a pretty strong thunderstorm out there that could be producing a tornado moving through Whitley County and headed toward Knox County. So again, we just always want to put the same rules in place, and that's why we have them there on your screen. All right, let's go back to the radar. And again, we're just kind of following along here with what's happening with the data every time that sweep comes by, and continues to analyze the atmosphere and gives us a better idea, a peek inside these storms. We can see them here, but we're going to peek inside to see exactly what's happening with the other data. So there goes the sweep around, analyzing the atmosphere to see the rates of rainfall and to see the way the winds are moving, how fast they're moving. All kinds of things happen when those radar sweeps come about. So that's why we are keeping the radar up here for you if you're down there in Whitley County and in Knox County. So with Knox County being mentioned, let's go in and let's talk about some folks that could be affected there, including the city of Barberville. You see Swan Pond, you see Boone Heights, you see all of these locations. There's Mimble also right outside of Barberville too. So again, all of these communities likely under the gun for the next few minutes. Right now, seeing some of the heavier rounds of rain and some of the lightning, I'm sure. So you're getting concerned. So what we're looking at is maybe the possibility of some tornadic activity coming your way. So safe spot now, and worry about everything else later. Worry about your family and everybody right there around you as quickly as you possibly can. Get them into a safe location, and let's get ready for the possibility of tornadic activity. Just brace yourself just in case it is what radar and what some of the storm spotters have been saying. Let's say that's what's happening, and if that's the case, you need to be safe as possible. That's why we stay on the air with these things, to break down the storm the entire time. So if you're in any of those spots around Barberville and coming out of Whitley County, that's where you need to just jump right into your safe location right now. Don't waste any time, as we are watching the potential for tornadic activity embedded within this line of storms. Now I'm going to zoom back out, and you're looking at the line. Not quite as intense as it was from north to south earlier, but still rather strong. If you're there in Floyd County, you're getting hit pretty hard, and also the same thing in Clay County. And then you go into Breathitt County and Owsley County. All of these locations seeing some very strong winds, and mainly just straight line winds, some stronger just wind gusts that are coming through those areas. But at the moment, the only active warning that we have, period, as far as severe weather is concerned, is the one through Whitley and into Knox County. You have Breathitt County. They issued a flash flood warning for a little while ago, where it continued to rain for a long time, rain for a long time in the same spot for those folks. So that's why they are actually seeing that flash flood warning. So they don't need any more rainfall, but it looks like more could certainly be on the way for you. But again, right now, the main weather headline as far as what's happening now, that's going to be you folks there in Whitley County and also over into Knox County. I'm going to keep the radar off for just a second so you can see some of these other locations without radar around that are all highlighted in red, which just basically indicate the warning. Okay, so if you see yourself in the warning in the red, that means that the tornado is likely headed for you, or at least this storm that could be producing a tornado is headed right for you. So that's the way we want you to respond. It's coming toward you. You know it's coming. So let's do our thing. Let's be in a safe location. You know, you got a manual here, Dishman Springs, some other roads that we'll also highlight for you. Those include, let's get that road map working there. You got Indian Creek, you got Gray Road, Big Indian Road, Hub Creek Road, you got Emmanuel Hollow Road, and there's Poplar Branch. And let's see, naturally, you got 25 there, which is already labeled on the map. You got State Highway 459, and you got Engle Hollow Road. So just to throw out just a few places here for you that you may be familiar with, especially if it's your road. You certainly know it. And then, of course, the entire city of Barberville, downtown Barberville area, under the gun with this as well because of the possibility of tornadic activity. That's why the warning was issued. Again, funnel clouds have been spotted, and that's actually a luxury. We don't get that all the time, so that kind of puts the extra emphasis on the nature of the situation and how critical it has to be to you in the warned area to get wherever you can get to be safe, okay? So that kind of helped out the situation when we actually get confirmed reports of at least funnel clouds from storm spotters that relay this information to us and through the National Weather Service, and they hit the button to go ahead and issue warnings. So it's very critical and very important when this type of weather situation, when this develops, when you get this serious of a situation happening outside, we need all the information we can get. Radar, of course, also backing it up, saying that there was certainly a certain level of rotation. So all the sources coming together here, suggesting that we could be dealing with possible tornadic activity around Barberville and through Whitley County there within the last few minutes here. Warning goes until 8:45. As I mentioned, we're at 8:25, so we're 20 minutes away. We'll stay with it as long as we can, or as long as the warning is active. And if another warning goes out, of course, we'll follow along with it as well as the information comes available. All right, let's see what we've got. Phone's been going crazy, and so has some of the other social media, seeing what I can find here of any new reports of anything happening out there. And so far, it does not look like we are seeing any new critical information coming out of those areas. Down around Barberville and through Whitley County. So I'll continue to monitor that for you folks, and we'll also monitor it right here on radar. That's why we're kind of keeping that view, just watching the radar as it updates. And I'll watch some of this other information too, just like I said, off screen. Off screen, and keep you updated with that. As far as a significant rotation is concerned, right now I'm not seeing it on some of the other means of looking at radar. Not seeing it quite like it was showing up earlier. Right now, I am seeing at least some activity on as far as when you look at the rainfall is concerned, but as far as seeing the twisting of the winds, not quite as developed as it was maybe a little while ago. So that may be working into our advantage. But again, you had some spotters suggesting that there was possible tornadic activity out there, with seeing maybe some funnel clouds. So naturally, we're going to have to stick with it and watch it very, very closely, because the information has been handed to us. It's out there. So we're watching it, and we're going to see what's happening with it here shortly as it continues its trek here through Whitley and also into Knox counties. So that's what we're watching at the moment. New information right there. Let's see what's happening with that while we watch also our radar screen. And right now, we've got the tornado warning still in effect. This was just updated within the last 60 seconds or less. Tornado warning still in effect for Whitley and central Knox counties until 8:45. Trained weather spotter at 8:23. We're at 8:28 right now. said a funnel cloud was located near Bimble or near Barberville. Okay, now let's get in on that. Let's get in on that. Again, not clear on radar as far as seeing the rotation, but you've got this location. They were saying around 823. It's only moving around 25 miles per hour, so from Barberville to Bimble. In that general location, they were saying that they spotted a funnel cloud there, which puts it right through the warned area, which is what we've been talking about. So if that is in fact the case, if they were, the spotter saw this, again, around Bimble or near Barberville, and it's moving toward the east, so it's already past Barberville, and obviously, as you see there on your map, Bimble is off toward the east of Barberville, so you see it right there. So it's moving more so now out into the county. So that's what we have to look for now to see exactly what's happening with the possible tornado in Knox County. So again, you also have the warned area still under the gun out in Whitley County. Okay, so that still is also in existence even for Whitley County. But right now we're getting more hot action through Barberville and out toward Bimble in Knox County. So again, we could be talking about possibility of a tornado there, with some of the trained weather spotters in that area saying yes, indeed, you know, we've actually got to see a funnel cloud. And again, that was around Bimble and close to Barberville on the other side of Barberville. So headed more now off toward the east, which would put it maybe toward Clay County or maybe into northern parts of Bell County. Just depends on exactly how this is going to travel. So it could be headed toward you folks there in southern Clay County if you all are ready for that. You're going to have certainly a stronger storm come through there, one that may have the potential to produce tornadic activity. And that's what I'm watching here, you know, again, with the severe thunderstorm possibly producing tornadic activity there through Knox County. And again, right now, the targeted area within the last few minutes has been the Bimble community. So again, if you've got any activity through that area, certainly let us know after the storm passes. You can relay it through Twitter, Facebook, several other locations, email, however you want to get it to us, you can get it to us. You can share your pictures on WYMTnews.com. Again, don't do it right now. If the storm is right bearing down on you, don't do it. Wait till everything is kind of quiet, kind of calm. That's when we certainly want to try to see this, or see it. And matter of fact, a little while ago, about 41 minutes ago, according to Facebook, I received a picture, and it was around Corbin. And if you get over to Facebook right now, you can actually see the picture that looks like Connie Stevens Rose took. That was 41 minutes ago. About the same time, it looks like everything's kind of panning out. They were seeing some activity through there around Corbin. Again, that was a little while ago, seeing some funnel clouds. They had some reports. So there's certainly a very interesting picture to see through that area as well. And we've got some new information, nothing overly impressive coming in from around Boone Height and Bimble. This person lives in between Boone Height and Bimble, and they say nothing too impressive through there for their account of seeing it. And what we're talking about there, you see Boone Heights and you see Bimble again on the map right there. So they weren't seeing anything major. So thank you for that little piece of information. So they aren't seeing any tornadic activity there now. But if it was already at Bimble, what it looks like maybe is it could now be more toward the eastern sections of the county. So we'll have to kind of change our pace a little bit here and look more toward some of the folks like at Hells Fork Road, State Highway 223. There's Bryce's Creek Road, and you've got Mud Lick Road, Mud Lick in Knox County, numerous, several mud licks that I've been across here in eastern Kentucky. So Mud Lick in Knox County, again, there's State Highway 223, Mill Branch Road. So just a few locations possibly right there in the path of maybe some tornadic activity as that storm is kind of racing across parts of Knox County here at the moment. So again, right now under the gun for possible tornadic activity in Knox County and parts of Whitley County. You got Tornado warning. Again, McCrary has been shaved off of this for a long time, so just look at Knox and Whitley, 8:45. That's how long this warning is out for. So we still have plenty of time left, around 12 minutes, and that's a long time in the weather world to run into some major issues. So that's what we have for you there in Knox County and Whitley County. And again, getting all kinds of reports earlier of some funnel clouds around Corbin in that general area, and that was a little while ago. Whitley County still, at least parts of the county, under the gun it looks like, because the warning is still in effect for you folks there in Whitley County. But Knox County right now, that seems to be the hotbed for activity, at least at the moment, as far as where folks were then saying that they were seeing some reports. Got a report, of course, off Twitter a little while, just a few minutes ago, saying it's not quite that bad, not overly impressive, the words you used. Strong winds also. All right, strong winds is coming in from Jonathan Lane. Strong winds are happening right now with some major lightning along Highway 92 down from Whitley County, close to Pineville. So there, what's happening in that case, they actually have, you can see there on the screen, a little thunderstorm activity kind of easing toward Pineville. So we're getting some of the winds that's coming off of this main line, as we call it, the main line, that's kind of feeding all the way out into Bell County at this moment. So thank you, Jonathan, for the information there. We certainly appreciate you sharing that over on Twitter. Again, we don't want to put anyone in harm's way, but we certainly appreciate any information that we get out there, because we're here. I can't get out there and actually see it physically. So any information that we can get here and we kind of relay and share about can really give me a better understanding of what's happening within this storm, to see if it's still in fact truly tornadic, or whether it's lost some of its stronger characteristics to do that. But just in the last few minutes at 8:23, you're looking now, well, that's been 12 minutes ago. 8:23 still showing that the fact that there might be a funnel cloud. So certainly a possibility of some tornadic activity there in Knox County. So we're at Scaff, we're at Hammond. You've got some of those spots that are all right now kind of in limbo as far as where the tornadic activity is concerned. So you're kind of just sitting there waiting maybe for the possibility of this to come rolling up your way. And if you are, let's show them those tips again. Let's just kind of try to, we've got a new crop of people being affected, so let's show you some of the best old tips that we can share with you. Get to a basement or the lowest point of your home, interior hallway or room. Okay, now again, what we mean by that, first floor, get to the middle of the house. Real simple, just put more walls in between you and the outside world. Again, it's like fortifying yourself there at home. And naturally, stay away from any windows, easily broken. So if you've got debris flying around 50, 60, 70 miles per hour, it could come crashing through, and you could suffer an injury or worse, death in that situation with something flying through the air that fast, that hard. So again, those are some of the rules there. To just always remember there when you're talking about possible severe weather, and I know that you folks here in Knox County, you're paying attention, you're getting right on it there, trying to get as safe as you possibly can, or if you're also over there in Whitley County, because again, this can turn into a very dangerous situation, and it can happen in a hurry. So if you're out there, you're in Knox County, you're in Whitley County, you have a potentially dangerous situation. All right, let's get back to our radar data, and I'll readjust our view so we can see more of what's happening all through southern parts of Kentucky. And again, you see Barberville, now you're getting even into Pineville there with that one little round of shower activity that we were talking about. And then you get all the way through Whitley County. But as far as McCrary County, it's gone. Okay, completely gone. I see there's not a drop of rain there, so you're out of the warned area. But again, the computer sometimes has a problem peeling layers off. It just depends on how the warnings come out. It wasn't replaced by a new one, so again, it's still showing that it's highlighted there. That's what the red indicates, is the warned area. So, all right, right now you have the city of Corbin included. You have Barberville, and a little while ago, as I mentioned, getting reports in from around Corbin of possible funnel clouds, and then you got more coming down toward Barberville and out toward Bimble there in the county. So it's about to take it, if you take that into consideration. What's happening is it's about to take it more out of the warned area, if that in fact was the case. If it was right there around Bimble, it's already getting closer and closer to the end of the warned area. Now, does that mean that just because it finds the boundary that it's going to stop? No, of course not. What's going to happen is some reevaluations will have to take place to see if again, it's still, in fact, holding that spinning column of air in place, and it continues to walk its way across Knox County, because a few minutes ago I said it was racing. That's wrong. It's only 25 miles per hour at most. That's been the kind of the consensus here with all of the reports coming in. Still right around 25 miles per hour forward motion. So it's not moving very fast at all. If anything, if it was around Bimble and it's going in this area that you see highlighted, the best thing possible. The best thing possible is the fact that we're getting into a more lowly populated area. And Steve Hinchley just coming in here saying no reports of any damage in that area so far. So that's some positive news too. So we're just going to hang right here with it for another 6 minutes unless something happens as far as the expiration or the extension of the warning is concerned. If they extend it, naturally we'll go all the way as long as we need to. Again, if you've got any information, you can always share it with us too. Over on Facebook, Twitter, email it, however you can get it to us, pictures. But I always like to emphasize this too: do not do it if it's going to put you in harm's way. It's just not worth it. Not worth it at all. So far eastern sections of Knox County, if that's the case with radar, as I was mentioning a moment ago, if the tornadic activity was around there, it's getting out into more of a less populated area. It's getting away from Barberville and some of the higher populated spots, so at least any casualties would be put down to a minimum. But now you look down to southern parts of Knox County, you've got some more storm activity also sweeping through there, kind of outside of the warned locations. So again, we're going to watch this for at least 5 more minutes to see what happens from folks with the National Weather Service and what's happening with some of the spotters as they are relaying information out there all across southeastern Kentucky. And again, we're going to check and see what's happening here over on Facebook and see exactly what some folks are relaying as far as the information is concerned. That's what we're waiting on here. So right now, I'm not seeing any new storm reports that are suggesting anything major happening with any new storm reports, any damage reports, anything like that. Not seeing it just yet. So, all right, that's what we're watching. All right, let's flip through here. I'm trying to just read all the reports I can here over on Facebook. And nothing new. Okay, just the general stuff. You're getting strong gusty winds. You're getting the normal type atmosphere that you run into when talking about severe weather. So nothing new on that end. What we're waiting for is some real confirmation on what's happening out there on the ground. That's why storm spotters are so important to relay that information. And by relaying that information, you know, I get a better idea of what's happening, because I'm just going to be honest, I'm not seeing anything at this moment. And I've looked at the velocity, the spinning of the air, the direction of the wind, and how fast it has been. Not seeing anything there, and I'm really not seeing anything on just what we're generally looking at. What I am looking at now, those are some pretty heavy rain moving through Leslie County, some strong stuff coming together there. So you're not under any type of warning there if you're around Hyden, but you're certainly going to get hit by some pretty heavy rain, maybe even some strong winds here very shortly. Probably already feeling the effects of some of the winds. So if you're there, that's what you have. Go over to Knott County, you got some decent stuff pretty much right over the top of Alice Lloyd College, some thunderstorm activity, some strong winds, maybe even some hail. And then you go over into Floyd County, out toward Allen, Martin, all of those locations, they are seeing it as well, at least a decent little round of some heavy rain and some stormy activity, but nothing that suggests that they're seeing tornadic activity like we've seen here through Knox, parts of Whitley, and back into McCreary County, with numerous reports coming in of funnel clouds. You know, around Corbin, I think I had 2 or 3, and then you got more that came out through the county there in Bimble. So the information just keeps coming right on in. So, and again, as it comes in, I'll try to relay it here on the air as quickly as I possibly can. All right. All right. And we are watching, again, I'm reading reports on the internet as they come in, and nothing, again, still not seeing anything that suggests anything major happening out there right now. But it looks like some folks are just pleased that the storms have passed, and they are in one comment, getting out of the closet. So that's some good news. That means the storm's passed. Don't get out until it's passed, or wherever you may be. Let's just try to get some information again one more time here. And that's posted, and away we go. Okay, now we're at 8:43, closing in on 8:44, and as far as I can tell, nothing has been extended just yet. We got new information coming out from the National Weather Service, and they say, as I suspected, the tornado warning for central Whitley and central Knox counties will be able to expire at 8:45. So that's wonderful news. And what also that means that the storm has fallen below even severe thunderstorm criteria, because they didn't issue a warning for severe thunderstorm warning. So again, the rest of the nighttime hours here, all the way up until about, I think, 11, 12 o'clock, should be passed completely by then. If you're anywhere here in if you're anywhere out in southeastern Kentucky, what you need to do is you just need to go ahead and just get into a safe location if a storm starts to come in your way. Maybe get into your hallway, basement, whatever, if it starts to storm, because these do have at least some characteristics to maybe develop into something tornadic or produce some strong winds. So if that's the case, that's what you need to do here very, very shortly. I'm going to continue to monitor the weather situation from here at the Skylar Weather Center. You can find it on Facebook. You can find it on Twitter. That's where the quickest, the rapid updates come, okay? So we'll be over there monitoring as much as possible here. But for now, we'll get you back to regular programming here on WYMT.